Let's call the meeting to order. The handbook meeting, special meeting. And let's do a roll call real quick. Christy Ray, we'll start with you.
Here. Taylor Broyles for Paul Foster.
Leanne Hines, assessor.
Mark Cycle, Treasurer's Office.
Rick Buchanan. All right, we have a quorum. Let's go to item 1. Discussion on possible action regarding the minutes of November 6th. Is there a motion? I'm sure you all have read them.
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion. All right. Item 2. This is a kind of a catch-all agenda item, if you will. It kind of covers the handbook. And that is there. We can use that indefinitely. Okay. Agenda item 3 is on there, and I'm not jumping to it just yet. But I put that on there we had the clerks of the boards distribute an Excel spreadsheet. If you didn't see it, that's okay. I can pass them out. What I did was I separated policy from I separated policy out. And the policy items, the reason I separated them out, let's see if I can summarize this, is to say we basically have included them, we've included everything into the handbook. I believe it's 108 pages, which is, it may be the way it's typed, the way it's formatted, but I wanted to get into that discussion today, as well as going into item 2. If we don't have any pressing items, I hope we don't. Leanne, thanks to you, we got the midnight situation cleaned up last month with the approval of the budget board. What I hope to do is set the table for next year and hopefully get everybody here. It is my hope that this group, and I do not want to be chair, I'll make that perfectly clear. I was happy to do it in the interim, and I'm proud to say I've served 30 days in this capacity, and it's been an honor. And I will hopefully step down.
3 more days. 3.
Leave on vacation Thursday for 2 weeks. Coming back next year. So, does anyone, agenda item 2 is discussion, review, possible action, which may include 1 or 2, blah, 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 regarding the current draft of the employee handbook. Does anybody have any pressing issues that they see current? And it's okay to say no.
No.
Leanne, you got any?
I've seen many, but I don't see any pressing.
Okay. Okay, good.
Same.
All right, we'll take no action on that. I would like to have some discussion on item 3, which is discussion, review, possible action regarding receiving documents or any public comments in the division of the handbook into 2 parts. And that's an employee section and the second part addressing previous policies. Many of those policies are FLS. There's separate timekeeping with different definitions for our law enforcement side. So Paul had mentioned to me in District three that, and I believe Leanne, you did too, that why can't we separate? And if this group wants to do that, I'm all in. As a member of this group. Those policy deals, many of them are federal, as we all know. But the key thing is, for me, more than anything, the most important people are our employees. And they receive this handbook and come to orientation, and it's 108 pages. And that's a lot to absorb. I've been here almost 20 years, starting in January, it will be 20. Mark, you've been here a while. I couldn't tell you what's in it. I'd have to go refer to it.
I know, page by page.
So it's hard. I mean, if people getting here, that's new. But for those who have been here, well, yeah, it's on info.
It's not a good cookbook.
Yeah. So I do want that to be a goal of ours to say, do we want to separate it? Have two handbooks. One's the employee stuff that covers all the stuff there, and then the policies that they can refer to. So we separate them out and say, see policy handbook page, 23 regarding the county's policy on medical marijuana, whatever it is. So we have those issues to tackle. The other thing is narrowing down, maybe the wrong phrase, but tightening up the employee side of the handbook to where we're not redundantly immobilizing our brains. So I'm curious to see Paul had mentioned that he rewrote
Yes.
the handbook.
Oh, yeah.
He's got
I
some
tried. I just with the AI that's out there, I tried it in Chat GPT, and I said, please summarize this and reduce it from 108 pages down to 75. And Chat GPT could not do that. It's not capable. But I was hopeful that AI was that intelligent. It does other things really well, but it doesn't take long inputs. So I'll open the floor to any discussion anyone may have. Leanne, I'm sure you have some comments.
I have been just fiddling over time with just rewriting a bunch of it. I haven't finished, but just, I've got probably a pretty good chunk of it, just thinking, what could be deleted that's redundant, and what, just mostly that kind of stuff. Wordiness that seems unnecessary, or things that are in there multiple times, kind of repeating the same things, stuff like that. So I over time, when I have spare moments, I can keep working on that. But I just brought today, because way back at the first meeting that I was at here, someone mentioned the Tulsa County Handbook. So I went and looked it up. I was like, well, I'm curious, what is that? And I've got it here. And it's, you can see it's little half pages, that it would fold up like this. So, this would be the handbook.
Mm-hmm.
And in this size of pages, this is, what does this go up to? It's much smaller. Oh, it's right here. 46 pages, of half sheets. And ours is 108 of whole sheets. And so this is I've also been looking at this as I've been kind of going through and thinking, what could be deleted. So we have kind of an example. Somebody apparently was familiar with this and knew it was a lot shorter than ours. I don't remember who said
I
that.
think it was Paul
Okay, could have been.
from District
I don't
3.
remember. But yeah, so somebody said we should just, slap Oklahoma County on this and just use it. Pretend like this is ours. And there's a few things that are different, but I haven't run across a lot of things that are different. So
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think part of what we need to determine, and I do appreciate the fact that everyone is taking efforts to rewrite the policy, but we do need to ensure that we capture what the policies were so that we're not excluding anything of significance that has not been subject, that we would submit for legal review, and then they would say you missed this important aspect of that law. Because policies extend beyond employment law. It is how an organization will conduct business related to those employment laws. And employment laws are at the core of it because we don't want to get on the other side of that. So I do appreciate, do we want to have the employment law section? Do we want to adapt to other policies that, other handbooks that may suit our needs as well and tweak that? Is it possible to have the rewrites distributed so we can do comparisons of the original document? And then based on those rewrites, do we want to assign sections and divide and conquer in that manner? Is it possible to do that? To say these are the sections that we need to address, and we divide and conquer and split those up, because there may be already some satisfactory work in all the individual efforts that have been taken. So how do we get to a point of review and edit? The only other comment I have related to policies is if we abbreviate, and I agree, a lot of our existing handbook covers some topics in way too much detail. Because there's no way with individual employees that we're going to address every circumstance that may come up. And there are some sections like emergency leave that kind of go that direction. But do we want to back up what we have in the handbook with something more substantial outside of the handbook? Because you cannot abbreviate every single policy to suit the needs, because my suspicion is that Tulsa County may have a second set of documents, and I'm not familiar, that expand on what they have in their handbook related to that topic.
Which is kind of what Rick is, I think, suggesting.
Yes, so, okay, thanks for clarifying that, because I had missed that,
Yeah.
that point.
And let me just say, I'm a former, much like your boss, Leah, we're former members of the press. And one of my biggest beefs is handing out documents in a meeting rather than getting them to the clerks of the boards and having them ready for the meeting. My belief is the public has every right in the world to see what we're discussing and have it either on a computer where they can click it, or I think in some of the meetings you guys have a little QR code where people can pull up documents on the video side. But I hate them being brought to the meeting, much like I did today, but this was sent to your emails by the clerks of the board weeks ago without comment. I just wanted everybody to see this. I wanted people to be curious. What is that? Why? What do the colors mean? Nothing. This just shows that there's a handbook side and a policy side. The policy guides guide us into the employees. So I would like, if you have revisions, suggestions, and stuff like that, let's get them to clerks of the boards, whether it's you, Keisha, or Cassie, or whoever. You guys have a blanket website that's just COB@oklahomacounty.org, to where things that are readily available to us are also available to members. That's critical. It's very important. I used to be clerks of the boards myself when I first started. So it's important to me for that reason too. So let's get them to the agenda. A lot of things can fit under item 2. If you have revisions, or you can request, I think, your own agenda item. Don't be afraid to do that. I would like to until there's a new chair elected, I would like to see him, and I said, yeah, okay, let's put him on. So I'll be acting chair until there's a new chair. Okay, does that work for everybody?
Yes.
Is there anything else we need to discuss?
I'm just curious, does anybody know the history of this second? I mean, when I first started looking at the handbook, I was looking at this, which says 2021 interim. And then you, after our last meeting, I think, sent this one, or before, I'm losing track of my chronology now, but at some point we got this one, and I'd never seen this one until, somebody sent this one, and this one says 2022, and you can see inside that there's markings and changes and all of that on it. Do we know who did all of this?
Doug Holtz.
No.
Doug worked for the county clerk's office, and he took great effort, literally, to go through it line by line. And that's part of the reason why that's the last
And all the
version.
concepts and everything else.
So are these things, did anything happen with these?
I'd have to
Does
look
the
at it.
handbook reflect this, or is this the official?
You'd have
I'm just
to-
curious what's our official
We'd have
book
to go
right
to
now.
Info Zone and look and see what's there.
I think I got this off InfoZone.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's where I got this.
My understanding is that is the official. We don't
Okay.
have 20.
So these are possibilities that haven't
It's
happened
probably
yet.
a working document
Okay.
that Doug
Okay.
sent out
That's
that
what
I
I
may
was-
have found.
Okay.
Doug's in Florida now, and he may be watching. Hi, Doug.
Mhm.
You're watching. We love you. And but he took.
Okay.
I-
So if
I
any of
don't know how he
these,
did.
if any of these changes were gonna happen, that would still need to be some official adoption of this, because this isn't anything official right now, correct?
Not that I'm aware.
Okay.
What's online is what.
I was just curious about that.
So yeah, that's why if you look at the sections, if somebody wants to go out and grab a section and tell the clerks of the boards and say, I'm going to be working on that, I'm going to have an agenda. I asked for that last month. Nobody volunteered. All I know is that Leanne, I knew you were going to rewrite it, and Paul said he was going to rewrite it and clean it up. I'm all for shortening it. That should be our goal. If we want to separate it, so be it. The wisdom of the group will prevail, and then we'll take it to the wisdom of the budget board to see if they like it. Now, I guarantee you, Butch Freeman will say, and I love Butch, what's wrong with what we have? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But we can expect things like that, and that may very well happen. And they say, no, I liked it the other way. So whenever you do a revision, have what it was and what you want it to be. So do the strike through, like they do legislative. Strike through and then insert what changed. Okay?
For me, because when I started fiddling with it, gosh, it's been a couple months ago or something.
Well,
I was just,
yeah,
it's kind of torn up. So I can't
get it.
really say this is what it was.
Well,
'Cause
we really
been
do. I know when
So if it needs to be that official, I would have to restart.
when I send contracts to the DA Civil Division, I have to show them last year's contract, and I have to show them this year.
Okay. And that makes sense.
And show them what was changed. I don't do the markup, so I get a new document that they have to be compared side by side. That's the only way to do it, because our elected officials, the burden's on them to take our recommendation, either change it or say, I don't like this, keep it the way it is.
Gotcha.
We can do all this heavy lifting, and they can say, nope, I like the way it was. So, anyway, hopefully we can improve it, make it better, and then it'll all happen.
There may be a way that we can do a comparison of documents electronically. So that might be helpful to you rather than rework everything you've already done.
Yeah, if you have some ideas, Sharon, that'd be great.
Okay.
Yes. so we can show the differences between the original and the current.
Yeah.
So we can work together on that.
Okay.
Right. So, for the most part, no action taken outside of approving the minutes. Any comments from members of the board?
I'm
No.
here.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Rick, have a great vacation in Bali.
Enjoy your trip.
That's where I'm going.
Oh my goodness.
Put your sunscreen on.
We're happy.
Hat, long sleeves. Scottish people do not do well. All right. Citizens participation? Anyone? All right. Motion to adjourn? Anyone?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nice, thank you. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, God.
Too.
Look forward to next year.
Happy